Hello friends, I am Professor Shraddha Sheke from KK Wagh Institute of Engineering. In this lecture, we will talk about CMOS logic, interfacing of CMOS and TTL. In previous lecture, we have discussed about CMOS inverter, CMOS NAND gate and CMOS NOR gate. Let us see what are the objectives of this lecture. First objective is to talk about overview of TTL and CMOS, comparison of different logic families, their characteristics, interfacing of CMOS and TTL. Let us talk about the overview of different logic families and their characteristics. As we know, logic families are basically classified into unipolar and bipolar logic families. Unipolar logic families are again classified into saturated and unsaturated logic families. So TTL logic family is one of the logic family. Saturated logic family, it is the example of saturated logic family. There are other logic families as well, like I square L, then diode transistor DTL, DCTL, then ECL, Schottky TTL logic family, and in bipolar logic family, CMOS logic family. So theory about this logic family we have already discussed in previous lectures. Now we have to talk about the overview of what are the parameters of values of parameters of this logic family. So we know, as shown in the dotted red color line, TTL logic families is 7-4 series, then 7-4 LS is low power Schottky series, 7-4F, 7-4S advanced Schottky, advanced low power Schottky. F is a fast. Then TPD is the propagation delay. These are the parameters of the logic families as we have studied in the second lecture of digital logic families. Then rise and fall time, VIH, VIL, VOH, VOL. These are the voltage parameters. High level input voltage, low level input voltage. VOH is a high level output voltage and VOL is a low level output voltage. Also a noise margin is the difference between voltage levels. Basically that is the noise is basically an unwanted electrical signal, and noise margin is the ability of a circuit to tolerate that noise. So if you observe the values of the noise margin as shown in the for the TTL, it is from 0.3 to 0.4. Then ECL is the fastest logic families. You will be observing the propagation delay of ECL is very small, that is 1.45 nanoseconds. That means basically propagation delay is a time required for a signal to pass from the input to the output. So minimum propagation delay is there for the ECL, that's why it is the fastest logic family. Then below that in green color CMOS logic families are there. You will observe the propagation delay is ranging from 90 nanosecond up to minimum up to 3.7 nanoseconds to 90 nanoseconds. Then rise and fall times, then high and low level input and output voltages are also given, and the noise margin. Here the typical values are VCC or VDD is 5 volt. Now you will observe basically when the interfacing between the two different logic families are there, then there is some problem or there is some mismatch that we will be discussing in the last portion of this video. So let us go to the next slide. Here comparison of the different logic families is given. So observe this. We know RTL, resistor transistor logic family. I square L is integrated injection logic family. It is also called as I2L or IIL. DTL is a diode transistor logic. Standard TTL logic families. Then ECL emitter couple logic. MOS and CMOS. What are the basic gates? For RTL, NOR, I square L, it is a NOR gate. DTL, NAND gate is a basic NAND gate, basic gate. Standard TTL, we have already covered the description, detailed description about the 2 input TTL NAND gate, also the open collector and totem pole in our previous lectures. Standard TTL gate, for that also NAND is a basic gate. ECL or NOR, it should be a NOR, by mistake there is a NAOR. For a MOS family it is a NAND, and CMOS it is a NOR or NAND. Power dissipation in milliwatt per gate. You will observe the power dissipation is given in milliwatt per gate. For RTL it is a 12 milliwatt. For I square it is a minimum in nanowatt. DTL 8 to 12, standard TTL 10, and so on. Fan out is nothing but the output of a logic gate can drive how many other logic gates without falling outside of its limits. That means if one, for example, a NAND gate is connected to 5 other logic gates, then output current of a NAND should be sufficient to drive the input current of all the other 5 logic gates. So that means fan out of a NAND will be 5, because it is able to drive the 5 other logic gates. Now observe, CMOS is having the highest fan out, that is 50, right? And RTL is having the minimum fan out. I square L, it depends on the injector current. Then for standard TTL 10 fan out, that means a standard TTL gate is able to drive the 10 other gates. ECL it is 25. Noise immunity. We will observe, in case of RTL it is a normal, in case of I square L it is a poor, noise immunity is poor. DTL it is good. Standard TTL it is a very good noise immunity, that is 0.4, that we will be discussing further. ECL very poor noise immunity. For MOS and CMOS is very good noise immunity. So one of the advantage of CMOS is a good noise immunity and higher fan out. Propagation delay, as we have discussed, the minimum propagation delay is there in ECL because it is the fastest logic families. If you compare the TTL and CMOS as compared to TTL and CMOS, so propagation delay, TTL is less, that is 10, and in CMOS it is 70. Speed power product is the called as figure of merit, and it is a product between speed and the power, and it is shown. Next is interfacing. Let us talk about the interfacing. What is meaning of IC interfacing? IC interfacing means connecting the output or outputs of a one circuit or the system to the input or inputs of the another circuit or the system. The simplest and the most desirable interface circuit between the driver and the load is a direct connection. Often a direct connection cannot be made due to the difference in electrical characteristics. An interface circuit is connected between the driver and the load to condition the driver output signal, so it is compatible with the requirement of the load. In this lecture, we will be focusing on the interfacing between TTL and CMOS. So for interfacing, following equations must be satisfied. Before that, let us quickly revise what is VOH. It is a high level output voltage. VIH is a high level input voltage. VOL is a low level output voltage. VIL is a low level input voltage, and same for currents. And you know, driver and the load also, the output of the load is connected and the one who is driving or the supplying is called as a driver. In the equation number 3 and 4, the negative sign in the current equations means the direction of the current is opposite to one which is assumed. Observe this diagram. As we know, in previous slide we have observed that our strategy is to match the electrical parameters such that the equations like a voltage equations, above 4 equations we have studied, these equations should be satisfied. For this purpose, we reproduce the output profile of the TTL and the input profile of the CMOS as shown in this diagram, assuming that CMOS is also operating at plus VDD, which is equals to 5 volt. From the figure, it is clear that high state output of a TTL may not be treated as a high input always, because VOH of a TTL is lower than VIH of a CMOS as shown in the diagram. Output voltage of a TTL in high level, that is, which is 2.4 volt in the diagram, and what is the output voltage for the CMOS? That is 3.5 volt. That means the one which is considered as output in case of TTL cannot be considered as output in case of CMOS as shown in the diagram. So 2.4 volt in CMOS will be there in undefined range. So whenever a TTL gate is driving a CMOS, that means TTL is at the source side and the CMOS is at the output of the load side, then what will happen? So our first equation will not get satisfied. Our first equation was, let us observe again, VOH of a driver should be greater than or equals to VOH of a load. That means VOH, output high level voltage of a TTL, should be greater than VOH load, VIH of load, that is 3.5 volt, and the equation is not satisfied. Now observe the second equation, that is VOL of the driver, that is low level voltage of the driver, should be less than VIL of the load. Let us check. VOL of the driver, that is 0.4 volt, it should be less than VIL. So second equation is that VOL driver should be less than VIL load, that is 0.4 is less than 1.5, and which is satisfied. then the current equations can be satisfied for the reasonable value of the n. Thus, the overall connection problem is to increase the VOH of the TTL above 3.5 volt. So, whenever TTL drives the CMOS, there is only problem between the high level output voltage. So, our aim is to make the output voltage of the TTL above 3.5 volts, so that will not go in the undefined range for the CMOS. For this purpose, a simple method is used to external pull-up resistor. Observe this diagram. An external pull-up resistor can be used whenever TTL drives the CMOS. The pull-up resistor increases the high state output voltage to about plus 5 volt and has no effect on the low state output. When the output is in the high state, the output capacitance is charged 2.4 volt through a pull-up transistor. As soon as the pull-up transistor stops conduction, external pull-up resistor R charges the output capacitance to 5 volt. The value of 3.3 kilo ohm is suited in most application and is compromised between the speed and the power dissipation. Okay, so clearly TTL will sink the current through the R when the output is low. So we can calculate if we connect the resistance, for example 10k over here, and plus 5 is the input voltage, sorry VCC, then 5 upon 10k, so we will get 0.5 milliampere is the sinking current. And if we try to find out what could be the minimum value of this pull-up resistor, then it can be calculated by 5 volt. R minimum is 5 volt divided by IOL. So IOL is 16 milliampere. So we will get almost 330 ohm, 312 ohm, and nearest value is 330 ohm. So this is how basically when you want to interface the CMOS and the TTL, when a TTL is driving a CMOS, when as shown in the diagram, whenever TTL is driving the CMOS, then we have to connect the pull-up resistor, and the reason we have studied. Now when CMOS drives TTL, then what will happen? Observe again the same parameters in this diagram. To illustrate this, we consider the CMOS driving a low power TTL gate of the 74LXX. The respective profiles are shown in the diagram. It is evident from the above figure that the equations which we have discussed previously, out of this, first equation is satisfied, that is VOH driver is greater than or equal to VIH load. Then both the voltage equation, second voltage equation is also satisfied. I will again go to the two equations. See, if you observe that the voltage equations and third is the current equation, that is also satisfied. But if you observe the fourth equation, that is satisfied only when n is equals to 2. Okay, let us IOL, the fourth equation, IOL for the CMOS is 360 microampere and IIL for the TTL is 180 microampere. So if you substitute, then n will be 2, so that equation will be satisfied only for n is equals to 2 in this case. That means if your CMOS gate is able to drive only 2 TTL logic gates, that means fan out will be 2. But if we see the values properly, then we find that IIL is minus. In previous table we have seen that IIL is minus 1.6 milliampere, which is too much current for the CMOS to sink. Thus, the output of the CMOS cannot be connected directly to the standard TTL. To overcome this problem, a CMOS buffers are used as shown in this diagram. So there is a IC present for this, that IC is 74C902, which is a hex buffer, and that ICs can be used whenever CMOS is driving the TTL. So in this slide we will be talking about TTL is good for where you have a good power supply, where you want a high speed. CMOS 400 is good for battery equipment, where the speed is not so important. The principal disadvantage of MOS is their susceptibility and the static electricity damage. So what are the precautions which should be taken against the electrostatic discharge? Connect the chassis of all the test instruments, soldering iron tips and your metal workbench to earth ground. Connect yourself to the ground with a special wrist strap. Keep ICs in a conductive form or the aluminum foil, so no dangerous voltage develop between any pins. Thank you.